Hey, Shalom, Akim, Shalom. First thing and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles and bishops of Great Millstone who are on the truth. Peace and blessings and salutation to the hopeful elect brothers. Noise in his gospel roar, lifting up the stern of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. This is Akim Mahaloya coming back with another lesson through the Spirit. This is just something quick. This is a shared post from the GMS dedication of brother. It was an article. It says British soldiers told to prepare for war with Russia. This is the actual post, and I believe that he took the font from the article and he posted it on his page. So just gonna read the article, man, and get a couple of precepts, nothing too long, because we're in a time of war when everything that's beginning to fall apart. It's very volatile. Okay, from the dark winter that's getting ready to hit Europe. Okay, even to Americas. Okay, the whole engaging of the whole Germany/Russia sabotage of Nord Stream 1 and 2. Okay, you got the food shortages commencing, you got the economic collapse, you got the institution of, or the about to be institutions of the CBDC currency, which is going to lead to the MOTB, which is the RFID, you know what, or the CHIP, and so forth, man. So, hey, the Most High is getting ready to bring holy hell to the planet Earth, and it's going to end with the inevitable World War III, nuclear annihilation, man. Okay, what we've been prophesying about for some time. Okay, and if you notice, when a prophet speaks certain things or things of that nature, they come to pass at some point of time. It's going to come to pass. Okay, so what appears to be a normal day today is going to be a chaotic day tomorrow. And I'm speaking in parabolic terms, not saying that hell was going to break loose tomorrow, but basically stating that it's good one day and then all of a sudden peace and safety, then sudden destruction. You see. So anyway, it says here the Army's top other ranked soldiers had told the troops that they must be ready to fight against Russia. Why is that? Because they are allied of the United States. But somehow something is going to cause the tensions or the relations between the NATO, the EU, or America to kind of break apart, with the NATO and EU coming against Babylon the Great, aka America, aka the whore of Babylon. All right. It says Warrant Officer Paul Kearney has told soldiers to alert their loved ones of a possible conflict, okay, because they know that war is brewing. You see, he says the UK military is now shaping itself to meet the threat from Russia and was ready to counter any aggression. But the time had come to prepare families and loved ones, okay? So, hey, man, we living in a time of wars and rumors of wars, because, hey, they had that, what they call that doomsday clock. I believe it was like 60 seconds from midnight or something like that. I can't recall the last time frame, but I know during the 2020, you dig, it was closer to midnight. So how much more? Okay, we can literally be a half a second, a half a millisecond from a week to 12, man. Okay, because that's how heightened the tensions of war is in the world right now. You see? And it says here, it says for the possible of being sent to the east, reports the Mirror. It says Mr. Kearney claims that the world has changed since Vladimir Putin's invasion of Ukraine 6 months ago. But now the British troops must be prepared for the newest realities, okay? But it says Kearney, the Army highest ranking warrant officer, wrote in Soldier magazine, I want us all to check we are physically fit for operations. And they know they got to be in shape, because they know that those Russians, that's a whole nother breed of animal, man. Okay? Those Russians are a whole nother breed of men. Like when you watch Rocky IV, the one when Apollo Creed died. Now, of course, Ivan Drago was juicing up. He was juiced up, but the fact he was still a brick house, man. Okay? And you see what happened to Apollo Creed. Okay? Allegedly, Apollo Creed was out of his prime, but Apollo Creed was jacked, and he ain't really lose a step like that. Something that was to be an exhibition turned to be a straight up massacre, man. And that's a representation of this whore locking horns with that bear, man. But of course, they had a nigga as the face of America, because Jake is a sellout. But hey, you see what gloating and pride got Apollo Creed. It got him put to death. I mean, he literally knocked the spirit out, dude, man. And you heard him dying in the ring as he, as Rocky wanted to throw in a towel. You heard that voice of death in the air, man, when he was like, don't throw in a towel. And that final hit, he knocked the spirit out his ass, man, and died in the ring. And that's how America is going to go down, by the hands of the Russians and the other nations. Okay? But he says to check if we are physically fit for operations. Like, you got Spartan ass troops. Them dudes training 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 foot of snow, man. Skinny dipping. And Russians have some of the coldest winters in a high altitude in the mountains. And they going skinny dipping in 20 below with no clothes on, man. Something that would kill an average person. These people are engaging in like it's normal. So I don't know how physically fit you Britons gonna be. Which, I mean, you know, you in way better shape than the Americans, obviously, because you don't have a lot of GMOs in Europe. But nonetheless, like, you still come in the same weak ass mindset, because the people from Great Britain, okay, and the UK is no different than the people over here. Okay, they're just more receptible or acceptable to certain things because they're not drowned out by so many poisonous chemicals. But you still come in the same spirit of the whole of Babylon, man, and you're gonna be destroyed. All right. But it says, and it's also important we prepare loved ones and families who often have the hardest role in our absence. But he says, may ask that is that you have discussions about a potential deployment with them to down, but find the numbers for the support networks and the relevant people who can help them, such as the unit welfare and officers Padre, okay, which Padre goes into father. But ultimately, man, they're going to have to bring back a draft, because I believe Russia recruited some 300,000 soldiers. That's why you had a lot of people going to TikTok and different media sites, offing themselves, hurting themselves, breaking their legs, committing suicide, because they didn't want to fight this dangerous war, because the people know that this war between the West and the East, they know that eventually is going to lead in their demise. And they know it's going to end into the destruction of both parties, man. Okay, because you got certain people in the mindset that when World War III commenced, shortly thereafter, there's not going to be any more Earth left. You got a lot of people that think that the world is going to be totally destroyed in the nuclear holocaust of World War III. But see, they don't understand that Yahweh Shai is going to come and he's going to put a stop to that, man, and put these nations in slavery. Because if Yahweh Shai didn't come back during World War III or the War of Armageddon, then they will destroy this planet Earth, man. And everybody will die. Literally, they will kill humanity over 10 times or more because of the type of weaponry and with the pollution and with the radiation, etc. Okay, but it says this is the key, as we should be out of contact for extended periods of tour. Making sure our loved ones have the opportunity they need is vital for us too, and we're not going to give 100% on tour if we are worried about home. Okay, so hey, prime example, dead presidents, man. They was like, well, don't you got a little girl and a woman back home? He said, I don't even think about it because they're dead to me, because the minute I think about them, that's the time I don't come home to them. Something to that effect. Because when you at war, you got to have a warlike mindset. That's why oftentimes in the ancient world, the grunts of society was drawn into war. Men that had no problem with killing or leaving shit behind or lost a lot. Men that were grieving. Men that was grunts. That was churlish men. Those were men often bred for war. Okay? Because those men, they wasn't wrapped too tight mentally. You see? That's why scriptures say that a soldier doesn't entangle himself with the affairs of the world. Because when you are entangled with the affairs of the world and you getting shot at and you thinking about your woman, of course, and you know, you're going to think about it because that's natural human reasoning. But overall, when you focus and not locked into what the hell you're doing, then you're going to get caught slipping out there. Like Denzel said, hey, he said the minute you bring that, when he told Hoyt, he said, don't wear that ring on duty. He said, I'm serious. He said, because these maggots out here, he said they would use that and they would chew you up and spit you out. He said, the minute that you bring your woman to the office is the minute you don't make it home. That's why he always said, let's go home and do the wife and the girlfriend thing, you know. But hey, he had a point, because he said the minute you bring that baggage to work, you ain't going to make it back home to your family, man. But in this case, y'all ain't going to make it back home, okay? Because next time you're going to see your families, if you have the nation of Esau or any other nations, is in captivity, man, okay? And it says here, General Sir Richard Dannon, former head of the army, said that this prudent advice from the army's top soldier, it does not mean that the army is about to deploy to Ukraine, but it is the duty of the army in peacetime to prepare for war in every aspect of life, man. Of course, they want to downplay it, but no, man, you're done. All right, so this is the book of Joel 3, and I'm going to start at verses 9. It says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles and prepare war. Okay, those are Gentiles, those heathen nations, from Esau, Edom, to Ishmael, to Ham, to Elam or Elam, okay, to what's another one? Japhet. Even though end time prophecy is very intimate, well, you don't really hear about Japhet fighting in the end time prophecies, but nonetheless, you got Japhites that's in the military, man, that's gonna fight the war, okay? But it says here, wake up the mighty men. Who are the mighty men? The Russians, okay? The Russians, those are mighty men. The Chinese, those are mighty men. Ishmael is a mighty man. Esau is still even a mighty man to some degree, because he holds the world kingdom. I mean, he holds the moniker, so to speak. But it says, and let all the men of war draw near, let them come up, okay? So, hey, the sound of war is in the air, brothers, okay? World War III is inevitable, and honestly speaking, hey, I believe through the spirit we're going to see it this decade. Okay, if tensions continue to go as they go, these food shortages, and when these bank runs and these banks collapse, okay, and America continues to piss off their allies, you better believe that World War III is going to be fought within this decade. Lord's will, man. Okay, because I'm not trying to be here to know 2030. I'm not trying to be here to 2029, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24. I ain't even trying to be here 23 or this goddamn year. You know, but hey, man, the way it's looking, hey, we going to be out of here in a short time. Lord's will. I pray he don't keep this thing going. I pray that as each day goes by, that things intensify, things heighten, and before you know it, man, they just gonna get out in all out conventional war, boots on the ground. Then, hey, once everything collapses, then shit gonna go nuclear, because the Most High is gonna put the spirit on them to shoot those nukes off, man. And that's when shit gonna get real. All right. But it says, and beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears, and let the weak say, I am strong, because you got North Korea, you got Iran, you got small nations like that, Libya, Egypt, you know, these little hermit nations, what do you call that small nation? Not Ukraine, but it's another, Syria, okay, little weaker nations like that that's flexing muscles on Babylon. What it says here, assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Yahweh, man. Okay? And let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, which is in the Middle Eastern region. For there I will sit to judge all the heathen round about. Okay? Because this is the Lord's judgment. And that word Jehoshaphat in the Hebrew goes into Yahweh Shaphat, which means the Most High's judgment. Okay? Yahweh, he exists, or to be, and Shaphat means judgment in the Hebrew. It says, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen around about. Verse 13. But put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come, get you down, for the press is full, and the fats overflow, for that wickedness is great. Okay? And multitudes and multitudes in the valleys of decision, for the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision. And the sun and the moon should be darkened, which is the wisdom and understanding, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. And the Lord also shall roar out of Zion, and utter his voice from Jerusalem, and the heavens and the earth shall shake. But the Lord of hosts will be the hope of his people and the strength of the children of Israel, man, okay? And that's the point, because we're going to get deliverance on those chariots, man. Okay, that's why it says he should be the hope for his people, because in a time of war, there won't be no hope for people. Especially when you got nuclear weapons being shot off on all aspects of this planet. There ain't going to be no hope for the common folk out here, man. But if you are the elect, hey, we good, okay? Because the chariots are going to come and they're going to scoop us up, or the fathership. Okay, I believe we're going to be beamed up in one big ship, because in Revelation it says, behold, they were ascending into a cloud. It didn't say clouds, but it says a cloud. Okay, and it makes sense that we be delivered in a fathership, because if you go into Revelation 12th chapter, it says that Michael and the dragon fought against Michael and the angels fought against the dragon and his angels, and it was found for no place to them in heaven. So at the same time, you're gonna have angels fighting Esau and his companions, and you're gonna have the fathership Yahweh Shah delivering us up into the chariots, man. Okay, so it's gonna be a crazy day, man. I mean, like the Lord said, behold, I will work a work in your day that you won't believe it, even though it be told to you, because one day, brothers, we gonna wake up and we gonna be out of here, man. You know, like the Lord said, behold, I come quickly. It ain't gonna be drawn out too much longer. Once everything falls into place with the RFID technology, hey, you better believe that everything is gonna start happening quick. Things are gonna start happening in third dimensional form, so to speak, in third dimensional time. Okay, because the Most High is not bound by time. Okay, but he deals with balance and he deals with measurement. Okay, but overall, man, things are gonna start to pick up. Jacob's trouble, then you're gonna start seeing chariots, the power. It's gonna be quick, man. You know. One last precept. This is the book of Revelation 11, and I'm gonna start at verses that's the spirit I was just reading this too. I was just going into this. Damn. Oh, yep. This is the book of Revelation 11, and I'm gonna start at verses 14. It says, the second woe was past. Behold, the third woe cometh quickly, which is the third world war. Now, you have to understand Revelation 11. It's a lot of time skips back and forth, because World War II, the second woe, that's World War II. Behold, the third woe cometh quickly. So, hey, if you really want to be technically honest, verse 14, it could be put in the midst of verses 9 through like 12, because the Second World War. But see, third woe is in a time of commence of our deliverance, because when you read in verses 13, this is the time of the third woe, okay? And it says, the same hour was there a great earthquake, and the 10th part of the city fell. And the earthquake was slain of men 7,000, which is a complete number of men. And that earthquake is the nuclear destruction. And it says, and the remnant were frightened and gave glory to the Most High of heaven. Okay, it says, the second woe is past. Behold, the third woe come quickly. But verse 13 deals with the third woe, if you can see how it jumps. And it says here, and the seventh angel sounded, and there were great voices in heaven, saying, the kingdom of this world are become the kingdoms of Yahweh Shai and his anointed, and he shall reign on the earth forever and ever, man. Okay? So yeah, brothers, the sound of war is beating. Stay prayed up, stay spiritual, stay in the spirit. Keep hope, keep faith. And hey, man, Lord's will, we see you brothers on the chariot soon. Shalom, Abba.